What's going on, guys? It's TBR Danger. I'm coming with you guys with a sleeper deck profile, the Unchained. Personally, I feel like this deck is a little bit underrated. It's one of those decks that can go first and can go second. I personally like to go first, but going second is not something to worry about. Most decks either prefer going first or second. This doesn't really have a favorite per se, but I run a more trap-based variant, so I prefer to go first in that sense. But it's a super fun deck. It it gets off on destroying itself, being destroyed, which is problematic for a lot of people. It's annoying. It takes a little bit for it to get going, but once it starts getting going, it's super explosive. And the core is actually really cheap right now. The most expensive card is Abomination's Prison, which is like maybe 12, 13 bucks. But other than that, it's very budget, and it's very fun. I play this deck actually quite often. It's by no means like tier 0, tier 1, like top of the charts, but I could definitely hold its own for sure. I'll hop into the deck build and show you what I'm working with. For the boss monsters, 2 Unchained Soul Disaster. Disaster, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and link that and himself out for a link monster, specifically a Dark Link monster. So you would get your like Unchained Soul of Rage normally, or depending on what you're targeting, if it's a link monster on your opponent's side of the field, you can go bigger. And this card's destroyed by battle or card effect. You can special summon one fiend type monster from your graveyard, which is awesome. Or I'm sorry, an Unchained monster from your graveyard. So you can special summon back your links and stuff like that. Really good card. It's not something you want to see in your opening hand. That's why I ran 2. I used to run 3, and it's not good to. I mean, it's okay to draw it, but you really don't want to see it in your opening hand. It's kind of like a -1 to start. Abominable Unchained Soul. This card's actually amazing. I actually splash it in a couple of decks because it's a pretty cool generic card, honestly. When a card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon them out. And when you special summon, you can discard a card and then destroy one card in the field, non-target, which is nice that it's non-target. And he floats in a different way than the other Unchained. If he's destroyed at the end phase, you can special summon it back to the field, and then instead of getting banished like most monsters when they're special summoned again, he gets sent to the bottom of your deck, which is cool. I play 3 just because he's so easy to come out the board, and he's 3K, so he's pretty strong. I play 3 of the new Sarama. You can play 2, you definitely can. Sometimes it kind of sucks opening, but sometimes it kind of helps opening at the same time. Depending on what else you got going on in your hand. This is like, even though it's not like a good like going first like starter card, like you just have to use your normal summon to get him out, but he's honestly one of the best because you can target any Unchained card in the graveyard and set it to your side of the field and then destroy a card. So you can destroy him, special summon Unchained monster, you can destroy a spell or trap, which they all do the same thing when they're destroyed, which is special summon an Unchained monster from your deck. So he's a really good extender in that sense. Pretty much one of the cards, like that was something that Unchained really needed. Not really twins no more like triplets, but 2 of the OG Unchained twins. 3 of each. Reiki is probably the better one. Excuse me. Reiki, he has a quick effect where you can quick effect target one card on your side of the field, destroy it, which is cool because like you can interrupt on your opponent's turn when they target one of your spell traps, or like Galaxy Cyclone or something like that. You can chain to it and pop it instead and get its effect, which is nice. Kind of like cock blocks people. He's cool because you can target one card on your side of the field to special summon it. So like you can set like when you're unchained traps or spells. Like if you draw two Abomination's Prisons, you could play one, set one, destroy one with him, special summon, get the effect. It's nice because they all float. All they have to do is be destroyed. They don't have to go to the graveyard. So like, if someone's playing a different dimension ground, like you can still play over top of it. Like yeah, they get banished, but as long as they get destroyed, you're good. Doesn't matter if they get destroyed and banished. So it's pretty cool. Believe it or not, I only play one tour guide. I've seen way too much in my hand, and like I don't really play Cherubini. I didn't play Cherubini that much. I mean, you can now, like with Instant Fusion and stuff, protect your Thousand Eyes or whatever the fuck else you got going on. It's just not for me. I like one tour guide. One tour guide's fine. One tour guide could get you into Unchained Monster. I usually use it to get one of my two spirits mainly, and then I'll link out. But spirits, honestly, these cards are awesome. Like they are made for this deck. Spirit of Malice is the lesser of the two, but when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can discard this card and then special summon the level 8 fiend from your graveyard, but its effects are negated, which is cool. He's not like the best one, but it's cool interaction. And then, before I forget, and if an 8 is sent to the graveyard while he's in your graveyard, either one of these, matter of fact, you can add them back to your hand. So it's like nice recursion. This one's way better because opponent's monster declares an attack. You can discard this card, special summon like Abominable Chamber, Abominable Unchained Souls, or Disaster, and the attack is directed towards that instead. Of course, again, the effects are negated, but that's fine. You got 3k booty or 3k attack they're attacking into, so it's pretty cool. Play a small kaiju package. He's actually really good in this deck because some of the stuff that can't be targeted by card effects, can't be destroyed by card effects, he kind of outs all of your problematic cards that you wouldn't be able to take care of otherwise with your linking. So like you kaiju, like I don't know, anyone, Mech Knight, could be anything that's problematic, tribute it out for kaiju, and then use the Unchained link to link out the kaiju, which is pretty nice. 6:30 in the morning, I'm having a brain fart, my bad. I'm working on my first cup of coffee. For spells, 3 Abomination's Prison. It's the best spell in the deck. You can search any Unchained card in your deck, and when it's destroyed, you can special summon any Unchained monster from your deck. That's the most expensive card in the whole deck, by the way. Probably like $15. By the way, the art on all these cards are just so sick. Like, so awesome. I've been literally following this whole set since Chaos Impact, like the whole theme. I play 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Monster Reborn, and then 1 Wailing of the Unchained Souls. And that is it for my spells. Like, that's all I play. Play 6 spells. Reasoning for Wailing of the Unchained Souls. Some people play none, some people play 1 like me, some people play 3. I mainly use it, to be honest, to set, like if going first, second, whatever, set it as like pop fodder to like get destroyed, special summon from the deck. There's rare occasions where I'll end up using it for what it's worth, which is when you link a monster, you can target 1 card in the field, destroy it. Sometimes that comes up. Well, for the traps, 3 Abominable Chamber of the Unchained to start. Normal trap, special summon any Unchained monster from your hand and or grave. And if this set card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon an Unchained from the deck, which all the Unchained spells and traps do. Really good card. I play 3 Escape of the Unchained. A lot of gets rid of so many problematic cards. Secret Village, Mystic Mine, like all these good floodgates. I see people run 2 of these. I'm sorry, but I have to run 3. There's just so many cards that can like cripple the way that this deck functions, and his deck is also built and equipped to be able to handle shit like that. And some decks don't. You usually have to side in like Heavy Storm Dust, anything like that. And with this, you really don't need to, because you just pop stuff all the time, so it's pretty nice. Some spice, 2 magical hats. Cards are really, really, really good in this deck. Like, believe it or not, who would have thought, right? So basically, you target 1 monster on your field when your opponent declares battle, right? And then you take 2 non-monster cards from your deck, any Unchained spell or trap, and set it with your monsters. Shuffle them all up, they go face down. You know, your opponent declares a battle. Say they don't pick the monster, right? They pick the spell or trap. It just got destroyed by battle, so you can special summon Unchained from the deck. And then at the end phase, everything on the field that was special summoned from the deck gets destroyed. So even if they do hit the monster, that's fine. You get the effect of the monster being set to grave, and then the spells and traps are destroyed at the end of the battle phase. So you can just build a board, pretty much. Like, you can just build, like, Unchained monsters after all the spells and traps are destroyed. So honestly, like, this card has never let me down. It's so fun. It's super fun. People are like, wait, what? Yeah, magical hat stuff. And then 2 Torrential Tribute cards, absolutely amazing in this deck. Obviously, as we went through the deck build, you could probably figure out why this card is so amazing. Pretty much you just blow up the whole board, and then you're destroying all your Unchained, so you're getting all the Unchained monster effects. And yeah, it definitely surprises people when that comes up. I play 2 Crackdown for control purposes, just to try and stay ahead of the game. Like I said, it's a little slower to start, but once you start rolling, it just snowballs, and it's super explosive. And Crackdown is just always good, always has been good, especially going first. Like, personally, I've always been a bigger fan of Crackdown over Mind Control, just because you can at least still do stuff with the monster when you use Crackdown, and a lot of people like going first. So I didn't understand why Mind Control was better than Crackdown. Like, if you're going first and you have Mind Control, cool, you have a dead card. Awesome, good job. I like Crackdown way better, just saying. Trap Trick. 3 of them. All 3 of them. Because Torrential Tribute, Magical Hats, Escape of Unchained, Abominable Unchained are all normal traps. Kind of turbos them out. It's nice. Very trap heavy deck. Kind of reminds me of Altergeist, but in a different manner. Trap Drake just comes in super clutch. You get any card you really could ask for. And it's funny because then your opponent kind of knows it's there, and what are they going to do about it? Destroy it? Like, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like, it just works great in the deck. I wouldn't change a thing, honestly. I know it's 40 cards exactly. It's more trap heavy than your average Unchained deck, but it's the way I personally like to play it. I like to play it that way. For the extra deck, I played 2 Unchained Abomination. People play 1, people play 2. I like 2 because he does go kind of quick. He has no protection really, so. And once people see him, they definitely focus on getting him out because he gets like 3 or 4 pops a turn once you get him going, which is insane. You can special summon him back from grave with Disaster, which is insane. So like, I try to climb up to this guy and then get him in grave and then just special summon him back all the time. It's pretty cool. I play 2 Anguish. Anguish is the one without a quick effect. So like, if you're going second, I kind of skip over Unchained Solar Rage and get to him, and then link with him to him, because you can link on your turn with him. You target 1 face-up monster opponent controls, and then again just link summon him out. It's not quick effect. When he's destroyed, you can add a fiend monster from your deck to your graveyard to your hand. 3 Unchained Soul of Rage. This guy's awesome. People are not really a big fan of him when he's sitting out there. He's really awesome in Eruption. He's a quick play. Target 1 special summon monster on your opponent's side of the field during your opponent's turn, and immediately after its effect resolves, link it off. So you just link climb into like any dark, like, you know, it's kind of like an IP for a unicorn. You know, you can run that unicorn, you can run the Phoenix. I'm sorry, not Phoenix. It's not a dark, but unicorn's a dark. If they happen to have a link monster, you can go into Double Bite, which I'll actually get into those real quick for you. Double Bite's nice because it can only be destroyed and is only affected by the effects of link monsters. So they have to have a link to answer to this guy. And if you use a 2 link 2s, his attack becomes 27, which is pretty cool. A little bit higher side of attack, and a little bit of protection going on within himself. Unicorn basically kind of like operating like IP would in a sense. Nightmare Phoenix for another nightmare to make the package. Don't need to worry about Cerberus. You don't need to pop it all. You're linking it, so there's no reason for him. I play 1 Anima. Anima's really good. Whenever you get to use him, I mainly get him off with Thousand Eyes Restrict with the instant fusion. So like I'll instant fusion, make Thousand Eyes Restrict, suck up the opponent's monster, and then if they have like a board, at least, you know, link off the Anima and then bounce back something else, or attach it to something else. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. It's 2 spot removal potentially. Nightmare Griffin, pretty much to recycle my spells and traps. He's very easy to make, especially with this deck, because you just link climb and link off with links and all that fun shit. It's just not hard to make, and he can definitely help benefit off of setting your spells and traps to your side of the field. Bomber's pretty cool. You can abuse the snot out of him in this deck. You just special summon Unchained from the grave to his zone and just blow up everything. Very easy to make because he's a dark as well. And then Phantom Knight's Breaksword. He doesn't come up that often, but I have made him before, where you can, and then you just destroy 1 card your side of the field, and then destroy 1 card your opponent's side of the field. And so it's pretty cool. So like if you have Unchained Abomination, this guy out, right, and then you have like a set trap, blow up the trap, blow up your opponent's monster or back row. And since you destroyed a card, Unchained Abomination's effect goes off, so you pop another card. So that's 2 cards that you popped. And then you pop 1 of your own, so you can special summon an Unchained on top of it, and hopefully you cleared out the back row, and then you can just swing for game. So he comes up sometimes, it's not like all the time. Situation pending. My side deck is not really a professional side deck. It's not like something you would take to a fucking tournament. It's cards that I used to run in here, and it's kind of like a preferred tech choice, in my opinion. Pretty much like 1 other Unchained Soul Disaster, just a case. Lilith, Lady of Lament, she was amazing in the deck, like, but I run Trap Trick, so it's kind of like eh. But if I could, I'd get a second one, and I'd maybe try running 2 in my main deck. But she's really good in this deck because you have a shit ton of traps. I run the Sticky Kaiju in here because I also do said 1 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, just to kind of blow up boards. This card's actually really good. I would also suggest if you play Unchained, you can main this, like, really easy. Just not my preferred thing at the moment. I was maining 2 of them with like 4 Kaijus, because like if you're make it like a going second build per se, more favorable going second. Your opponent sets up a board, you just Kaiju Slumber that shit. Even if you just normal summon or set an Unchained monster, you're destroying the Unchained monster. You're gonna get the monster's effect to special summon from the deck right after the Kaijus come out. It's pretty cool. It's actually really nice. I play 2 MST on the side. Spot removal for myself and my opponent. Pop my own spells and traps if I brick. Kind of help yourself get off a little bit. Different Dimension Ground. Different dimension ground is really good, and again, you can play over it, which is really nice. Literally, like, this turn any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead, but they're getting destroyed, so you're still getting the effect. Kind of like with Thunder Dragons. You know, if you're playing Dimension Shifter, which you can run in here too. Say you blast Dimension Shifter, right, and it becomes your turn. Like, people ran Dimension Shifter and a Thunder Dragon, Crusadia, Guard Dragon, fucking, when I used to do it, I did at least, especially with Orcus, when Orcus was running around Top Dog and Sky Striker. But you know, you can send Dimension Shifter, and these all still go off because they're being destroyed. It doesn't say it has to be sent to graveyard, so it's pretty cool. Sorry for explaining like so much, but just in case. 2 Compulse, again, searchable, Trap Trick, good card, control purposes. 2 Witches Strike, cause absolute insanity blowout. mainly I run this against back row decks. If I see someone's running like Solemns, this shit's going in there all day. Or like anything like that, or like hand traps. Like, if you negate normal summon or special summon a monster, or an activation of a card effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls in their hand. Like, what? Yeah. And what do you think people are going to be doing in this deck the most? Either stopping my summon or negating the effect of my monsters. So, very good card in this deck. 2 summon limit. Easily can play underneath this as well. Even during your opponent's turn, you can link off their monster. You just they get one of their summons off, link it away. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh cool, I just wasted a summon. Like, yeah, you did. Thanks. It's pretty much it for the side deck. It's like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's nothing crazy. It's just pretty much tech cards. It's not like anything. Oh, this is to combat against Ed Emancipator and stuff like that. No, it's not. It's not built like that. Pretty much take it as you have it. But I thoroughly enjoy the deck. I think it's super slept on. Super budget right now. I don't think it's going to be budget forever, to be honest. I feel like they're going to eventually skyrocket. It's a really fun deck. A little bit of history my boy taught me on it. The Rikas, they're based off of suicide and blowing each other up, which is pretty cool, which makes sense with how the game plays with them. But I thoroughly think that if anyone was thinking about getting it and was just like, I don't know, now's the time to get them. And they're honestly, in my opinion, I feel like they're like a good tier 3, tier 2 deck, depending on the player. And honestly, it's hard to say with where the meta's at right now because everything's online, and I don't know. But I appreciate you guys checking out my Unchained deck profile, and I'm gonna have actually some test hands coming up for dangers, for going hard going second, and just kind of playing out where the combos can go. So definitely have that coming up here real shortly.